When we think about what affects our health and lifespan, we usually focus on things like diet, exercise, or not smoking. But today, I want to talk about a different kind of health threat, one you can't see on an X-ray. It's loneliness. Being alone isn't the problem. Feeling unseen is. That ache, it's your brain's alarm saying you need people. Ignore it long enough and you get more anxiety, worse sleep, higher inflammation, basically, hello health problems. So let's flip it. Tonight, I'm giving you a connection game plan. 3 tiny habits to shrink loneliness, 3 social workouts to boost mood, and a simple phone rule that makes every relationship feel closer fast. If you've been fine but empty, this one is for you. So in this episode, let's explore loneliness and social connection, the hidden threat to lifespan. So watch this episode and let's go from disconnected to protectively connected. Welcome to your DocCast, your bilingual health podcast with Dr. Amr Ayad. Every week, we bring you science-backed insights on spine and joint health, mental wellness, disease prevention, nutrition, and more in English and Arabic. Let's get you feeling your best. Studies show that lacking social connection can increase the risk of early death by about the same impact as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Can you believe that? Even before the pandemic, roughly half of American adults reported feeling lonely. That's a lot of people feeling disconnected. And loneliness isn't just an emotional drag, it's literally a public health crisis. We'll break down what loneliness really means, how it affects the brain and body, the health risks, everyday signs of disconnection, the protective power of strong relationships, and most importantly, practical steps to fight loneliness and build real connection. You might be thinking, isn't loneliness just being alone? Not exactly. Loneliness is not the same as solitude. Loneliness is the painful feeling of being disconnected from others, even if you're surrounded by people. You can sit at a family dinner and still feel utterly alone inside. Being alone, on the other hand, isn't always bad. Plenty of people love solitude, reading a book, going for a walk, recharging. The difference is whether you feel connected or not. Think of loneliness like hunger, but instead of food, your body and brain are craving connection. You can feel lonely in a crowded room, and you can feel perfectly fine being by yourself if you know you have strong supportive relationships. So what is the neuroscience of loneliness? Why does loneliness hurt so much? Because our brains are wired to see social disconnection as a threat, just like physical pain. Feeling excluded or unseen activates the same brain areas that process physical injury. That's why rejection or heartbreak feels like being punched in the gut. From an evolutionary standpoint, this makes sense. Our ancestors survived by sticking together. Being isolated was dangerous, so our brains developed an alarm system. When we feel separated, stress hormone rises, sleep gets disturbed, and we go into survival mode. The problem is, if loneliness sticks around, that alarm system never shuts off. We become anxious, hypervigilant, and less trusting. It can spiral into a vicious cycle. Loneliness makes us withdraw, which only deepens the loneliness. Loneliness and health. Chronic loneliness doesn't just make you sad. It can make you sick. Research shows it increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and even dementia. It weakens the immune system, raises stress hormones, and fuels depression and anxiety. In fact, lacking social connection is as harmful to health as obesity, physical inactivity, or heavy smoking. That's why some experts now call loneliness a silent epidemic. On the flip side, strong relationships actually protect health. They help buffer stress, improve sleep, strengthen immunity, and even lengthen lifespan. Everyday signs of disconnection. Despite living in the most connected era in history, many of us are more isolated than ever. Think about it. Time with friends has dropped nearly half in the last decade. We default to texting instead of calling or visiting. Technology lets us do everything from home, work, shop, order food, but it also reduces face-to-face interaction. Many people say they don't have a single close friend they can confide in. And how often do we see a group of people sitting together all staring at their phones, physically present but mentally elsewhere? These little patterns add up. They make it easier to drift into isolation without realizing it. If loneliness is toxic, connection is medicine. The longest study on human happiness found that strong relationships are the single biggest predictor of long, healthy lives, more than money, status, or even genetics. Why? Because social support buffers stress. Positive interactions release oxytocin, the bonding hormone that lowers blood pressure and calms the body. Friends and family encourage healthy behaviors like exercising or seeing a doctor. Conversations and laughter stimulate the brain and protect against cognitive decline. In short, connection keeps us healthier, happier, and more resilient. So, what can we do about loneliness? Here are some practical steps. Number 1, find or build a community. Join a club, class, or volunteer group around something you love. Shared interests make bonding easier. Number 2, practice empathy and kindness. Listen deeply, check in on people, and do small acts of kindness. It strengthens bonds for both sides. Number 3, mind your digital habits. Use tech to enhance real life, not replace it. Call instead of texting. Put the phone away when you're with people. Number 4, have real conversations. Schedule regular coffee dates, family calls, or game nights. Be open, be present, and go beyond small talk. Number 5, reconnect and reach out. Don't be afraid to message an old friend or invite people to hang out. Many are just waiting for someone to take the first step. And number 6, seek support if needed. Therapy, support groups, or community programs can help if loneliness feels overwhelming. Remember, quality matters more than quantity. A few close, supportive relationships can be just enough. In conclusion, loneliness might be a hidden threat to health, but it's one we can fight. Just as exercise strengthens the body, relationships strengthen the mind and soul. So if you're feeling lonely, know this: you're not broken, and you're not alone. Loneliness is a signal, like hunger, reminding you to seek connection, and the cure is within reach, in friendship, family ties, and community. At the end of our lives, it's not money or achievements we treasure most. It's the people we loved and who loved us back. So here's the takeaway. Invest in your relationships. Make that call. Have that conversation. Show up. It could add years to your life and more joy to those years. Doctor's orders: go hug your spouse, kids, parents, or friends, and watch how much better you're gonna feel. See you next time.